You do not have to struggle in order to make money. If you really work at things that you love, you can usually bring in good money. If you work at things you hate, or if you have a belief that you don't deserve, then you won't have it. You know, what we concentrate on increases. So you want to be very careful that you're not concentrating on debt and lack and bills and negativity, because that's what's going to increase it in our life. If you can concentrate on bills and see them as enemies, then they're going to be enemies, and you will never, ever have enough to really take care of them. Bills are wonderful things. It means that somebody has trusted us enough to give us their service or their product, knowing that we have the ability to pay it. And if we can welcome those bills with love and rejoice, and when you write a check out to pay it or you pay a bill, absolutely rejoice that you're able to do it and know that what you're sending out is coming back to you. See, too often we think, oh, another bill, or we write the check and say, oh, there isn't enough or whatever. But start feeling a good flow with this whole thing. Self-image is very important, because self-image, feeling good about yourself, is prosperity. Prosperity begins with that. Doesn't matter how much money you have, if you don't feel good about yourself, you're never going to enjoy it. And then look at your prosperity now, because everything that you do have in your life is a reflection of what you believe you deserve, what you believe about yourself. You know, look at your home. Is this a place that you really love to live in? Is it comfortable and joyous? Or is it cramped and dirty and always messy? The same thing with your car. You know, is your car something that you really don't even like? Or is it something that reflects the love you have for yourself? And what about your clothes? You know, are they just a bother and a nuisance and something you have to wear? Or is it something you really rejoice in? Because again, it's a reflection of you. And what about your bank account? You know, how do you feel about that? And what is the state of it? Are you friends with money, or is it an enemy? All these things are important, because what we have in our life is a reflection of ourselves. But remember, no matter where we are or whatever is happening, it's a reflection of ourselves, but it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. It's a thought about what you believe about yourself, what you believe about life, and what you believe you deserve. The reason I like mirrors so much is that they really move you through stuck places, because they reflect to you almost instantly what your beliefs are that are against you. Okay, let's look into the mirror for a moment. Look into your eyes and just say to yourself, my biggest fear about money is... Just notice what comes up. What comes up? What is coming up when you do that? What sort of fears? When you do something in the mirror like this and a thought comes up, the good thing to do is to write it down. And if you're doing your affirmations in front of your mirror at home, always have a pad and a pencil with you and write down whatever that negative message is. And you don't even have to deal with it right then. But later on you can sit down and maybe you'll have a list of them and say, wow, this is what I believe. No wonder I'm not having the prosperity that I want. You see, if we don't see what our negative messages are, it's very hard to change them. And what most of us do is when we hear or feel a negative message, we try to run from it. And we have all sorts of ways of doing that. I mean, people go to the extremes of drug and alcohol abuse and things like that. But there are lots of little ways that we run from our own barrier thoughts. And if we could, instead of that, accept them and examine them and turn them around, say, no, I don't want to believe that anymore. Remember, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. That's all we're dealing with, no matter how difficult it is. Feelings are thoughts in motion in the body. That's what they are. They have no entity of themselves. So we have a thought, we get a feeling, and then we get frightened of the feeling, or we try to run from it. But if we realize it's just the thought moving through our body, and the thought can be changed. So if you look at those things and you say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to believe this. And yours just came up, but it's probably an old one there. You know, and I don't want to feel that I'm going to lose money if I get it or something like that. I don't want to feel that I'm starving. I would rather choose to believe that I'm abundantly taken care of, I'm an extremely capable person, I can always create for myself, and I am always safe in the universe. Everything is supplied for me. We have to change these thoughts, and we must do them deliberately, because we're the people that are in charge. It's our minds. We think in our minds. Nobody else can do that. And we get the opportunity now of choosing what we want to think. When we were very little, we had a lot of stuff fed into us by our parents and other places around us. I mean, after all, we got it from relatives, we got it from neighbors, we got it from school, we got it from the church, we got it from television. All this stuff came in, and we're little, and we accept most of it. Very, very few small children really can say, no, that's nonsense, and I'm not going to believe that. Mostly children accept it and say, yes, yes, okay. But we're not little children now. We're adults, and we get to choose what we want to think. Only we have to look at what we are thinking at so we know what we need to change it to. As I said before, prosperity to me begins with feeling good about yourself, because when you really feel good about yourself, you're prosperous, even if you don't have much money. So the people who are nasty and mean are always people who haven't the faintest idea of how to love themselves, and what they're doing is expressing their own pain. I don't know whether you will or not, but an affirmation really is like planting a seed in the ground. And an affirmation, remember, it usually doesn't feel true to begin with, because if it were a truth, you wouldn't need to do an affirmation. What you're trying to do is to create something that you didn't have before. And you're putting a seed in the ground, a new seed. And when you put the seed in the ground, you don't get instant whatever. What you get is a seed in the ground, and you have to nurture it. Now, to want something new in your life is not to deny what you have, unless you're releasing something. And then you don't have to deny it, but you can say, I'm letting it go because it no longer serves me. And now I want to create this new in my life, and start the new affirmation going. And remember, if you have had experiences in your life that are not comfortable, on some level they're mirrors of you. We don't always like to hear that, but everything in our life is a mirror of us. So if something's happening out there that's not comfortable, we have to look inside and say, how are we creating it? What is it about me, or what is it within me that believes that I deserve this experience? Because otherwise we wouldn't bring it to us. So perhaps, I would say that perhaps a little more loving yourself would help. Because when you get that flowing, you won't bring in uncomfortable experiences. When I was a little girl, and then when I grew up and started out in the world, my self-esteem was so low, and I had such a terrible self-image that I created awful experiences, just terrible experiences. And that continued until gradually I learned how to use your mind, and that loving yourself is the way to bring good things into your life. And then my experiences changed. But, you know, if you just say, oh, well, it's scary, and if I open myself up, I'll get terrible things, you probably will, until you've changed whatever it is inside of you that attracts that. You know, I like to think that we have a cosmic bank account, all of us. It's like a cosmic bank account. And we can put in deposits of affirmations, of positive thoughts, of believing we deserve. And we can eliminate the debts, the negative debts and negative thoughts and negative beliefs. We can take those out. And the more that you put in wonderful experiences and wonderful thoughts into your cosmic bank account, the more you will take out big dividends. Remember, your consciousness is the best bank account that you can have. What you do up here is far more important than what you do just in a bank account. Loving yourself pays enormous dividends. Enormous dividends. When we change our thinking, we change our reality. That's just that simple. So let's know some positive things for ourselves. We are open and receptive to wonderful new ideas. We allow prosperity to enter our lives on a level that it has never entered before. We deserve the best. and we are willing to accept. Our income is constantly increasing. We move away from poverty thinking into prosperity thinking. We love ourselves. We rejoice in who we are, and we know that life is here for us and will supply us with everything that we need. We move from success to success, from joy to joy, and from abundance to abundance. We are one with the power that created us, and we express for ourselves the greatness that we are. We are divine, magnificent expressions of life, and we are open and receptive to all good. And so it is. Thank you very much.